Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good.
All
Busy.
right, all right. So
Yeah,
today we're gonna talk about
yeah,
you and your business, and we're gonna just go over some topics here, get this in, get this recorded for quality purposes. I have to make this disclaimer that this is a recorded video. So if you don't want it to be recorded, just let me know now.
are you good, man?
All right, JoJo. So what we're going to be talking about today is let's go with our first subject,
Yeah,
starting your
absolutely.
business from scratch. So tell me what was your feeling before you got into it, and then we'll go from there.
I just kind of knew that you know, the world, and opportunities, that, there's something greater out there for me. And I've been working my full-time job and everything's going good with it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I do pretty good in my job, you know, and I enjoy it. But, you know, I think it all kind of came about when I was watching a ton of like motivational videos and, listening to people talk about their success stories and just kind of realizing like, how great that would be if maybe I try, so that started my whole thinking of what do I want to do and what kind of direction do I want to take and just pieces started coming together and the ideas started formulating and the whole starting an online business came about. And I think I was like searching on Pinterest and TikTok for side hustles. And there's endless amounts of side hustles, but the thing is I work full time and what would be best for me. So that's something you have to take into consideration, like, starting out from scratch and trying to see which kind of direction, you could take. So I'd first heard about selling on Amazon and it seemed interesting, and people, hype it up. And I think it's possible, but I started looking into it and, I was watching all these videos on people and how they did it and what you need to do it. And, you know, I like I said, that's all I had going at the time was just working my full-time job. So, um,
How many hours were you pushing?
oh man, I mean, still to this day, I mean, I'm still working, you know, uh, 50 or more hours a week. And I mean, like the last 5 6 weeks, I've been working 7 days a week. Um, but but with everything that I have going on now, it's definitely necessary. And I understand the investing, investing just a couple months of your life, you could set yourself up for you know I mean, it depends on what you're doing and where you're going, but I mean, you invest a couple months, could be six, take 6 months, man.
Yeah.
Work hard, invest. I mean, someone like me, I'm 35, and I mean, I'm guilty of wasting time. I'm guilty of not doing enough, and so that's my other motive is I'm like, okay, man, it's now or never. It's time to take advantage of the now. And
Yeah.
so and so I was looking into the Amazon FBA and I was trying to like follow what people are doing and so I started pursuing. First thing was an LLC. I think that was the first thing I was trying to pursue.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna remind you that my whole journey took a big shift, you know. Now I'd put some things into play I got that LLC. I was talking to sellers in China, and okay, so I'd also, I think I mentioned this before, but I had got a Discover credit card with $4,000, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, how can I invest this $4,000? Because I've gotten two other credit cards before, and it was just like, okay, I got some credit cards. I'll just go spend some stuff, pay it back, blah blah blah, build my credit.
Get those cash back rewards.
Yeah, that too. I
Yeah.
mean, I have an Amazon Prime Visa, and that gives me a lot of Amazon rewards. I mean, I've spent 30, 40, $50 before in reward points, and
Yeah.
so that's always cool. Um, so I got that Discover card, $4,000, and I'm like, well, I mean, that could start something, right? So, like I said, I was going to do that Amazon FBA, and I just kind of got to a point where it just wasn't panning out the way I wanted it to, but I
Yeah.
came across a different company to go with. So that's how I started with from scratch, just at my regular job, and thank God I was like fortunate enough to like be able to watch videos like on my downtime. If I set myself up at work and I'm kind of waiting for these machines to run,
Yeah.
uh, I had some time to like, watch these videos and look at all these side hustles and listen to people and, listening to motivational speakers and realizing that, the time is now and I need to do more, obviously. Uh, I want to be successful. And I'm sure everyone out there has that same feeling within themselves. I want to be successful.
Yeah.
So if you have that within you, you need to ask, well, how hungry are you for that success and what are you willing to do and how far are you willing to go? And if you can ask yourself that, and if you can be honest with yourself and understand that um, you're going to have to go beyond your level at what you're performing, and you're going to have to endure some challenges, and you're going to have to learn how to stretch your patience. And so that's kind of like the beginning stages of it all. You want to put that into your mind, and eventually you're going to start setting yourself up for what is necessary, the requirements. So um, started from scratch. uh, I was just on a pursuit, you
Yeah.
know, pursuit of knowledge, pursuit of ideas. How can I invest?
Yeah.
How can I how can I invest for my future? And what is something that's going to be cool for me to do? Because in the end, you want to do something that it's kind of cool, or maybe you're passionate about, or like something that you're going to like. So uh, starting from scratch, I'm just digging through that wormhole, and
There you go.
I'm on my pursuit. And next thing you know, I came across a company called Selvia, and the way that they were advertising it isn't exactly the way that they do things. I mean, they're like, "Hey, we'll build you an e-com store, for free." I was like, "Okay, let me check that out." And I ended up calling them, or I emailed them. They called me.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke to someone, and they gave me the rundown. I was like, "Hey, what are you guys about? What do you offer? So they were like, "Well, we'll build you a store. It's $40 a month, and you know, this is a very unique company. They offer packages that you can buy from from them, and they'll build you a store. They'll build you social media pages. They have SEO packages, they have promo tools, they have marketing materials for all your products, and then they have their premium products package, which they will they will make and design custom products for you that you pick out that only you'll have. So you'll only have, you won't have competition on. And they will put the stuff, whatever you choose, they'll put it on Amazon. They'll build you an Amazon store. But what was cool about it, I had already created an Amazon seller account, so I was kind of already a step ahead, and so I bought this premium package from them. It was a couple of grand, and
Did you use the Discover card?
yeah, that's what I
Okay.
did with it.
Okay.
So I got my LLC with it, and um,
Now with the Discover card, you're referencing once you get that card, they give you an amount of time to with zero interest. Is that right? And is
yeah,
that where your mindset was?
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that.
No, you're good.
They had gave me the $4,000 no interest for a year and a half.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, man, that's a win, because I can invest that money in that time, I could pay it back, and I could probably beat the whole interest game.
There you go.
So that was my other motive. I was like, okay, I'm going to invest this $4,000 and try to like make some money and this and that. So I mean, I was looking into different things, and there's plenty of things out there you can do, but it just depends on what you want to take on. So
Yeah, definitely.
um my whole thing was like passive income, right?
Yeah,
Passive income is it's a great idea to like chase, and it's how cool is that to make money while you sleep, make money whatever, like passively. So
that's right.
I was like, man, that sounds awesome. I want to make some passive income. But how can I do it? So yeah, I got in touch with Selvia. They built me the store. It was ready in like 2 days, and
What'd you think
it,
about it?
yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. They
Okay.
have they have some really cool product stuff I've never seen before,
Okay.
and the senior director, I had a Zoom meeting with him, and he was like, even at the lowest conversion rate, if you're only selling 10%, something like that within a month, you could still make about $4,000 at $20 a sale on average, with about 100 of these premium products, and I got 300 of them. So we'll see how it goes, but uh, it's still fresh, still brand new. I
Yeah.
mean, I just went live like maybe a month ago. My Amazon store just went live a couple
Man,
of
that's
days ago.
great.
Yeah, so I got that. I bought the SEO packet from them this past Monday. So that'll be ready probably next week. I have some SEO going on, and that's really exciting. And I mean, that was another $700. So, you know, um,
It's adding up quick. So you're probably like in your head, you're like, all right, I'm
but
moving forward.
yeah. Definitely moving forward, and that is something you want to feel. Coming into anything, especially from scratch, you want to feel like, okay, I'm starting to make some progress.
Yeah.
I'm getting somewhere,
Yeah.
and
Does that expand your mind any? Like you get to start thinking more because these are the beginner stages. Like you're saying, this is from scratch. You're trying to use
yeah,
this card. What's your mindset through all this? Like
uh,
you've just spent this money out. You're trying to get out there. Is your brain starting to process more and give you more creative thinking?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to be a progressive individual. You want to have an expanded capacity.
There you
You
go.
want you want to expand your mind. You want to learn as much as you can about the industry.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
So, I mean, I'm sure you already know there's sales tax, there's IRS, there's all these things that come into play, so I had to get a seller's permit from the state of Texas, and I called them and I spoke to them about my situation and what are my obligations. So anybody in Texas, If I make a sale to them, I need to collect sales tax on it. Uh, you know, and I have to pay that in quarterly. They have their rate, you know. I'll do that myself. I'm hiring right now. I've already been talking to them, a tax accountant, and they're going to assist me with my taxes, like the quarterlies, and then filing my income, my federal income. And, they're going to help me with all the tax deductions and tax write-offs. Because when you're starting a business, you're able to deduct $5,000 worth of business startup expenses and $5,000 worth of operational expenses, as well as a bunch of other tax deductions. I mean, they were like saying that there's like 77,000 pages worth of tax deductions that I'll be able to take advantage of. So all this money that I'm investing, see, that's the thing as well, is that I will have my taxes done and all that before I have to start paying this interest. That's my whole goal.
Yeah. Oh
Pay
yeah.
that card off before the interest comes. So uh I'm really not sweating it too much because I always have hope in my job that I'm working now. I've been, like I said, working 5-6 weeks straight. And
Yeah.
that is that's a part of my growth, man, because before this 5-6 weeks streak that I've been on, man, I was like working. I'd work 3 weeks and I'm like, man, I gotta take a break. I can't take this no more. I need a break.
Yeah.
So but now that I have the why am I doing
Yeah.
it? It gives me the strength. It
Yep.
gives me the focus and the drive. And every day I wake up, feeling refreshed. I'm ready to go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
One more day down, one more week down, one more paycheck down. I
Yep.
mean, I'm able to take care of my business. I still have personal bills. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing all that on top of this. So,
Yeah.
but I honestly, man, I really think that I'll have everything paid off by the end of the year. I mean, at the going rate that I'm going, uh, you know, I mean, when you're fired up, man, what you need to do is you need to capitalize on that feeling, that fire,
Yeah.
that's feeling you. You need to capitalize on it, and you need to take advantage of all the progress and achievement that you can. Life has its turns, and you have to take advantage of your highs, and understand that when you're low you will come back up again. And right now, it's just a matter of not being afraid to take on a little debt to try to get ahead.
Yeah.
And I'm in that position, but at the same time, dude, like, education, man, you got to educate yourself on, like, on what's necessary, what you're
Yeah.
willing to do, the requirements. So, I've heard that was another thing that was motivating to me, was I had heard people like Robert Kiyosaki, and I heard a couple other guys. Uh, I can't think of his name right now, but they're like, I'm not afraid to go broke to try to invest in my future and try to start like a business per se, like what I'm doing now. And so that gave me courage. Like, hey, okay, I'm gonna use my personal expenses to try to start this business, and my hard work's gonna pay off. And keeping that faith and understanding why I'm doing it. And so I have a few things going already. I mean, it's actually pretty exciting, to have those things going on, and to say, like, man, I'm a business owner now.
Yep.
I'm not just working my W-2 job now.
You're
you
not
know
just side hustling.
right. And hey, man, let me tell you like this. uh, as great as it is, my opportunity to work where I'm at, and to get this overtime, and make that good money, like, yeah, that's great. And dude, that was a whole nother journey, just getting to that point. And in life, you got to take your stepping stones, and I was a couple of years ago, I wasn't in the best position,
Yeah.
and so I could probably trace all this back to like a couple of years ago. And man, I started from nothing, and luckily, I mean, God's blessed me with a few good people in my life, and just a little bit of opportunity. You know, I wasn't asking for much because I started gaining strength and power, a sense of independence. I want to do this. I want to build. I want to create.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, you know, uh, I started blowing up on my fitness, blowing up on reading. And I got out of, my current situation, living situation, and I moved to Tyler. And and thank God I had a friend that knew that's in the real estate, and he was able to talk to this landlord of mine now, and got me into this house that I'm in. And it's been a great blessing because I'm able to I can start that business because of this opportunity. Just moving to Tyler, getting a job opportunity, meeting good people like yourself,
Yeah, I appreciate it.
and yeah, I mean, so yeah, I mean, I just encourage everyone, out there, if you're like trying to start anything at all, because I talk to people. I just talked to someone today about, and they're like in their early 20s,
Yeah.
and they're still like, I'm not really sure what I want to do with my life,
Yeah.
and I talk to them, you can't make up anyone's mind for them. I would never try that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as a 35-year-old person, I can at least say, hey, look,
Yeah.
surround yourself with good people, successful people. They will teach you things. You can learn something every day from successful people. So
Yeah.
surround yourself with them and stay up on your motivational video. Man,
Yeah.
I am someone that watches every day, like motivational videos every single day. I
Yeah.
mean, I got a whole list of people that are my favorite, but these people will inspire you every day. And that's something that you need inspiration every day. You need to be motivated on a consistent basis, because
Yeah.
you're going to come across challenges and you need to stretch your patience, but
Yeah.
so here's the thing, man. When you recognize that you're not doing enough in your own life, when you have that recognition, because I've had it myself. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough, and I've wasted a lot of time. And when you understand that time is like your most precious commodity. It's so valuable, time. And you know, I don't know if you ever heard of that. Like when you get older, you won't have as much time, but you'll have some money. And when you're younger, you'll have time but no money. And so you
Yep.
want to find a balance between that, where you have time and money. So I mean, that could be like your motivation. um,
Hmm.
so you want to definitely find your balance. You got to enjoy your life, but you got to also work hard. And it is about that journey, because it's kind of like once you climb up that mountain, you'll realize that there is another mountain, to climb up. So you're always going to be like facing something, but eventually you'll gain the strength to overcome everything. And so you got to be decisive, with whatever it is that you're getting into. You got to be able to make decisions, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. I mean, failure is a part of success. And sometimes, you know, it's kind of like what this Marine said that he would tell to these new recruits, when shooting a rifle. He said that no matter what, you're always going to have to adjust your scope. He
Yeah.
said, he's like, shoot the damn gun. He said, as
Yeah.
long as you're shooting in a direction, you might miss that first time, but you're always going to have to adjust your scope, you
Yep.
know. And he's like, just shoot the damn gun. So it's kind of like saying, have the tenacity and the drive to just do it, jump
Yep.
into it. You
That's
know,
right.
life is going to take its turns and things are going to shift, but when you start making your mind up, there's a power, and I definitely I believe in God, but I believe in the world. I believe in people. I believe in creating circumstances. And I believe in that law of attraction. It's kind of like not like the mother law of all, but I do believe in it because you will attract your way into these circumstances and these opportunities. So it's all about your level of mind and your level of thinking every day. I mean, it has to be consistent every day. So
Yeah.
that's part of your personal discipline. But do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah, man. I actually wanted to elaborate on that. See how motivated and how drive you have because you've now started your business. Your mindset has changed. So for that, let me add to it so that way it's on my end as well. And I'm gonna
Yeah,
show you like my scars per se, you know. So
yeah,
like
definitely.
so like I had a journey all in itself, and I'm like you as a business owner. I'm a business owner now, and my biggest thing was like just first in life, like my struggles growing up and in the schooling system. I'm not going to down the schooling system for any reason, but I will say that when I first started out in school, I don't know if you know anything about dyslexia.
Somewhat.
Somewhat. Okay, so dyslexia works like you're reading and the numbers and stuff start moving on the page. Or uh, I was so bad dyslexia that whenever I wrote, it was all backwards. And the teachers thought I was needed to be put in special education. The number one thing that keeps me driving today is my mom, who made a commitment to be like, no, you don't understand. He has the right answers. And if I told my mom, I was like, Mom, you got to get me those pages of when I wrote backwards back in the day. I said, this is so powerful of a testimony going forth. And that's just what keeps me driving for a business, because it's like, she had so much passion in me when I was a kid growing up. And that's for every mother and every child, though. They have that bond with their children. But it's like, my mom drove to get me better help. And whenever she tried to tell the teachers, look, he does not need to be in special education. Did you ever try to put it up to the mirror? Because if you put it up to the mirror, it's the right answers. And then boom, right then and there, they were like, okay, something's going on. So we need to refigure out how he can write straight forward. So I was writing backwards. So I got and jumped into these classes. And when I tell you I was writing backwards, I wrote everything backwards. So you would look at the paper and it would be right, but you would have to put it up to the mirror.
Mhm.
And the teachers were always trying to throw me in special education. So that right there was a drive. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it, but my mom, was making that drive to get it up and going and get me motivated to push forward and, not have me at a disadvantage from everybody else. When
Yeah.
in actuality, it was a benefit to me, because now I take that she opened up and she allowed the teachers to be like, no, my son is very sophisticated. He's just in a different way that you don't understand, and you need to get him the help that he needs. So my mom, period, drove that into the school system to be like, hey, the dyslexia is real. You need to get him to a class, get him started, and he's good. So me myself, I didn't even know what was going on. So while I was in grade school, I got hit what I call my biggest challenge in life at the beginning was the dyslexia. And it was like, man, I didn't even realize how much my mom was pushing. And that's like us as business owners. You don't know where you're going, but when you get off that plane, you're going to your destination. You're going to get to that place. As long as, like you're saying, sight your gun in. As long as you get off that plane, you keep moving, you're going somewhere, and it's going to be in the right direction, as long as you're guiding yourself and staying around, like you're saying, the positive impact, motivational videos, because your energy around you is what develops you and keeps you driving. So that was just a little bit of my story right there. And just to give you some of my scars and some of my challenges that I face But now as being a business owner, and it's like, okay, all right, Luke, you're in this. You know, you got to keep driving forward. Let's keep making the best of this. Let's keep keep yourself positive. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I have my down days. I have my
Yeah.
down days where I'm like, man, this is not gonna work. Like, what am I doing? Like, why did I even jump in? But like we know, you got to jump in. You got to test those
Yeah.
waters, because if if I don't want to be the old man sitting at the table with my wife, holding her hand and be like, "Well, baby, we should have started that business," and
Yeah, man.
it's like, man, no, I wanted to be like, at least I tried it, and I know it's going to be successful, because as long as I keep driving and keep pushing forward, knowing my energy is positive, because as I go to a job as well. We go to the same job. That's how we actually met up, and we're connected. And so it's like, you go to the job and you're like, man, this is okay. Okay. So look, what's going on? And you're sitting at the job and you're sitting there and you're like, there's got to be something more. And you're starting
Yeah.
to dig. There's got to be something more. There's got to be something more. And so,
Yeah, absolutely.
man, that's like my biggest motivator right there. And with that, we'll go into our next question, just to give that baseline, and you know help you see, we're in this as business owners. We're testing the waters and we're moving forward, and that's the best thing of all.
Yeah, you probably need to remember that that feeling you have of why am I doing this and God, why, this and that.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people go through. I'm probably, if not everybody. I mean, I've felt that way, like, am I taking on too much? But it's just also I feel good about it.
yeah,
I feel good that I'm trying something.
that's
I feel
right.
good that I've made some achievements, and the future is going to be bright. You just got to have faith. You got to put that belief firmly within yourself. Keep praying. I definitely can't stress that enough, man.
Yeah,
Prayer, and writing your goals down.
of course, of course. So with that, we'll go into our next question. So what were you trying to accomplish and seeking to accomplish when you started your business? Like, you had your plan and you're ready to accomplish something. Now, what was it that you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I mean, not only passive income, yeah, that's great, but financial freedom is probably the coolest thing you could probably ever achieve.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, man, I don't know. I can give you exact percentages, but high number of not just Americans, but like people around the world spend their whole life working. Don't have enough time to spend with the family or pursue things that they truly love. And man, I don't know. I guess I've always kind of had something within me that, felt like I'm worthy.
yeah,
I'm worthy of something great, like uh to be honest, I mean that feels like a royal thing, like you're just treated like a king, you got financial freedom. I mean, you're
yeah,
taking care of everything. I mean, you're just, your business is thriving, and you have financial freedom. I mean, that's like the coolest thing. I mean, we're gonna die one day, and you when you get to that point, and if you have a moment to reflect back on your life, and you're grateful, you're thanking yourself for like taking on that challenge, and you're just amazed at how things turned out, because things don't always turn out the way you want them to. Things go different directions and stuff like that. But man, when things work out, and if you can put that idea into your mind, and achieve it,
Yeah.
and teach that to younger generations. And I think the world is trying to do its best to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I definitely like my mom's side of the family. They're like that. They're not doing enough, and it drives me crazy because like I am going above and beyond.
Yeah.
And I've achieved so much in the last 2 years. Um, they're amazed. I mean, I'm glad to have you know,
And support.
their support. Yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah.
grateful, man. But I'm just like, hey, look, if I can do it, if I can come this far, you can too. And I just want them to feel that way. I think it comes down to a level of belief in
Yeah.
in themselves, but um so I want to be like the first person on my mom's side, at least. I probably on my dad's side too, but
Yeah.
honestly, not gonna lie, I want to make that million. Million. Once I hit that million million dollar point,
Yeah.
see, my allergies are messing up.
Yeah. It's that
So
time.
if I can make if I can make that $1 million though, man, and if I could do it the right way, which man, I'm doing everything that I need to do it right.
That's right.
So I want to do it the right way, and I want it to be net profit, million
Yeah.
dollars. Boom.
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
It
And
is.
even if it takes me 2-3 years to achieve it, just
You're still
whatever.
moving.
It's cool, man. I mean, I'm just gonna be happy with the results that I achieve, regardless. In the end, I'm just enjoying my life. But what feels even better is that even more so in my life now, and I'm 35, and I should have been doing something like this when I'm 25. You know what I'm saying? But you
But hey,
know,
that I was saying the same thing. I was
you
saying the
know,
same thing. You're not the only one because I try to tell my son, I'm like, I was like, you 19, you're 20 years old. I said, if you don't listen to anything that I have to say, I said, at least know, get out there, get moving, get motivated.
yeah,
There's more to this life. And like you're saying, that financial freedom, accomplish what you feel you want to accomplish in your goals, aspirations, in the system that you set up to make it a solid system, and keep moving forward from there. And then, as young as you are, like you said, you have time on your side. Use that time, utilize it before you get to my age, which now
yeah.
I'm 30, and it's like, man, I got to do something. I've got to make a move because
Yeah.
there's no other option but to move